JWise is back. So if any of you lot have been following me for a little while now, you know that I bought a property in Egypt. Still haven't even gone out there. And with this coronavirus on the rampage, I'm going to keep myself put in England for a little while until they find some kind of vaccination for this virus. As soon as the virus pandemic is over, I'll be out there. Yeah, I need to furnish the property and do a few bits and pieces. Why did I buy a property in Egypt? Without going into too much detail, if you want to know more, you can go to the description box below and I'll leave a link for the full video as to why I bought property in Egypt. But basically in 2017, I had about £12,000 left to my name. I was self-employed. I was breaking even some months. Some months I wasn't even making any money. So some months I was losing money. Go from 12 to 11,000. I thought to myself, I'm living the high life now. I'm doing what I want. But in 12 months time, what am I going to have to show for this? I probably won't have no money. So with this 11,000 pounds I got left, I need to get rid of it so I can put myself in a position where I need to get a job. Because I was getting lazy and I was comfortable with having 11,000 pounds. So there was no drive to get a job. So I decided to buy a property in Egypt. Again, if you want to see the full video, go to the description box below. I'll leave a link there. So I managed to buy the property. And tell you, the whole time I was going through the process of buying this property, I was afraid. I was thinking to myself, am I gonna get scammed for just under £10,000? That was going through my mind. But I've done a little bit of research, and once I've done my research, once I've done a little bit of digging around, I was fine with transferring the money over. So the estate agent that I was in contact with was a UK-based estate agent. They had business with a developer in Egypt. And this estate agent based in the UK, their name is Rivermead Global. Never heard of them before. Had no reason to, get into contact or even come across any estate agents abroad. So what I decided to do was, Rivermead Global, they had their own Facebook page. And I thought, well, before I transfer any money over, I'm going to need to find out from some people. Even though I don't know them, I need to do some digging around. I need to speak to some people who have allegedly, been in contact with Rivermead Global and just find out, if these people are actually real. So I went onto Facebook and I started contacting people from Rivermead Global. So I pretty much sent the same generic message to about 10 people. This guy Lee, obviously I've censored out people's last names, but this guy Lee, he was nice enough to not bother to message me back or even read the message. This guy Kirk, obviously he's used his profile picture as most people do on Facebook. So obviously to censor out him, I just used the emoji. But this guy Kirk, he was nice enough, again, just like the previous guy, to not bother to read our message. Luckily, a nice lady called Carol responded to my message. Hi, I've seen you bought a property through Rivermead Global. Yes, I have, she said. Can you remember the conveyancing solicitor you used? I went on to ask. Ramon, and then I blanked out his surname. Recommended by Rivermead. Now, the reason why I wanted to find out who the conveyancing solicitor was is because Rivermead told me 90% of their clients use the exact same conveyancing solicitor. So if she was able to confirm the same person Rivermead Global told me, then my confidence would naturally grow with Rivermead Global. I'd feel as if I could trust him some more. Then went on to ask her, everything went smoothly? Not exactly, she said. Should have been in her apartment in March, now running 6 months late. It's not Rivermead Global's fault, but it's the developer's fault. I went on to ask her, did they reimburse you any funds for the late completion? Not so far, she said. I'm waiting to have a meeting with Mr. Ramon and the developers. Is this Tiber View, I asked. No, Sheraton Plaza. Now, Tiber View is the resort where I was buying a studio flat. Sheraton Plaza is a totally different resort. But it gave me even more confidence because that meant that Rivermead Global had established themselves in Egypt. You know, if Rivermead Global had only been out there a month, I wouldn't be that confident. But the fact that they had worked on another project means that they've been out there at least a year. And that was a good sign for me. I also contacted a lady named Apple. Hi, I've seen you bought a property through Rivermead Global. Yeah, I did, she said. Did everything go smoothly, I asked. Yes, everything went well. They are quite responsive, she also added. I asked, did you buy a property off plan? Yes, and semi-finished, she said. I informed her. I've heard complaints that the developers haven't met their deadlines and are about 6 months behind and counting. Did you experience this, I asked. Yes, one project, and it's a long delay. I informed her I'm planning on buying Tiber View. We then began to talk about the facilities at Tiber View. I asked her, did you buy a studio flat? Yes, she said. I told her, I'm thinking of going for a 36 square meter property. Do you think that's small, I asked. It's not bad, she said. And luckily for me, she informed me that she visited the real site. And that was everything I needed to hear. Someone I didn't know had confirmed that the site was actually real and it wasn't a hoax. Last but not least, a lady named Carol responded to my message. Seems that ladies with the name Carol like to buy properties in Egypt. I was pleased when she was able to confirm the names of the estate agents that I'd been in contact with. Neil and Tom. They're actually based over in the UK. She was able to confirm the name of the conveyancing solicitor, which was consistent with the other lady called Carol. I went on to ask her if she was a bit skeptical about buying abroad. Yes, she had her fingers burnt by another UK developer. She would trust Rivermead Global every time though, and she had no trouble with them for the last 3 years. She then went on to pretty much slate the developers. Again, when she was giving Neil, who's one of the estate agents based over in the UK representing Rivermead, when she was giving him praise, that added to my confidence. Not only can she confirm who this person is, she's actually saying that this person, is doing a good job and they've helped them along the way. So I was really skeptical about transferring over this money because, remember, these people are based in Egypt. The property I'm buying is in Egypt. If something goes wrong and the estate agents who are based over here are fake, I can't just get in my car and just drive, 100 miles up the road. It's in a totally different country. I'd never been to Egypt before. Maybe I should have done my research. But never been to Egypt before. I wouldn't even know where to start. Would it even be worth going out there? Would it be worth going out there and, trying to find somewhere that doesn't really exist? And regardless of the country, when I bought my property over in the UK, you know, in the house I'm sitting in right now making this video, I was paranoid. I was in contact with my conveyancing solicitor. He sent me the bank details where I needed to transfer my deposit for the property, which was 13,600. He gave me the bank details. It was Barclays Bank. He gave me the account number and sort code. And prior to that, my friend and I had a conversation, and he said he was watching some kind of watchdog program. And apparently some fraudsters, they hacked into a lady's email address. And they found out that the lady was actually in the process of buying a new property. So they pretended to be the conveyancing solicitor, sent her an email requesting her to transfer over a deposit. She transferred the deposit of about £30,000 to total strangers. When she reported it, they didn't give her back a penny. Do you know why? It's because it was a bank transfer. So she couldn't even get back a penny. When I was aware of that, although my conveyancing solicitor was in the UK, you know, I knew where he was based, I was still really skeptical. But you know what I done? And you guys should do this too. If you're buying a property over in the UK, the conveyancing solicitor that requests the money from you will give you the bank details, will give you what bank it is, for example, Barclays, account number and sort code. What I did was, I was going to actually go down to the Barclays branch that they actually bank with, which is in central London. But in my local shopping centre, I actually got a Barclays bank. So I went in there and then I told them, you know, what I'm doing, buying a property. I've got the bank account number and sort code. Can you confirm who this account is linked to? They said no problem. Came back after 5 minutes, they used a tablet, punched in the account number and sort code, and a list of names came up, all under this one account, about 26 names. And lo and behold, my conveyancing solicitor's name actually came up with Simon. Once I saw that, I was confident. And I went ahead and I transferred the money for this property. So again, you know, after I'd done my research, again, I didn't do the best research because I've never been out to Egypt. But once I confirmed it with a few people that were on their Facebook page, they were consistent. Yeah, I was asking them different questions as well. Once I was happy and I was confident, I decided to transfer over the money. You know, I even had some doubts, again, you know, just before I did it. Whilst I was in NatWest, the guy that works in the bank said to me, "Are you sure you want to do this?" And I said, "Oh boy, I'm gonna have to just take the chance." And yeah, I transferred over the money, and he said, "You know, how did you find them?" And I said, "They were on Zoopla." And he said, "Oh, they're on Zoopla." And I said, "Yeah." He said, "Oh, once, you know, an estate agent is on Zoopla, you have nothing to worry about. At least it's not going to be fraud. The worst thing that could happen is maybe, you know, the project's not completed on time or whatever in it, but they're not going to rip you off and scam you." So yeah, I sent over the money, and here's a quick clip of the amount of money that I had to transfer over. So here's a copy of my bank statement. As you can see, I had to transfer over 8,600, and then afterwards I had to pay the transfer fee, because when you transfer money abroad, you have to pay a separate transfer fee. Then you can see the amount of money that I had to send to the conveyancing solicitor, Ramon. I had to pay him half the money up front. And then when I actually go out to Egypt, I would then have to give him the other half once I meet him in person. But that's it for the video. If you have any trouble or you have any doubts with, you know, buying a property abroad or whatever, try and, you know, approach the situation the same as me. Do your background research. If, for example, you're buying a property with an estate agent and the estate agent is called Homes Abroad, try and find the Facebook page. Try and find people who have gone through the same process, you know, have bought a property, and literally you may have to send out 10 messages, maybe 20, speak to a few people, try and get consistent information. And when the information is consistent, then you can definitely trust it. Thanks for watching. Stay wise.